There are a few ways to make fully procedural woven textures inside Blender, but it's almost impossible to make any other weaving pattern than a plane weave, and that's why I created the Pattern Master add-on to finally solve this problem. It basically mimics a feature I really liked inside Keyshot, which is the real cloth feature, which allows to set any weaving pattern. And I finally managed to implement a version of this right inside Blender. However, this only works using cycles because it is based on an open shading language shader. Now at the moment, the Pattern Master add-on only supports woven patterns, but in the future I plan to also use this pattern setting method to also make knitting patterns and more. So once you've installed the add-on, you will have one new category in the shader node menu, which is Pattern Master, and a new node, the woven pattern. But before you can add it, make sure your render engine is set to cycles and to enable open shading language. But here, the first time you do this, it might take 15 to 20 minutes to properly load the render kernels. But if it has been done once, except if you update your graphics card drivers, it will be really quick all the other times. And now let's add the woven pattern node. And before going over the features, let's plug everything into the principal BSDF. So let's plug the color into the base color, and you can also plug the height into the height of a bump node. And here, unfortunately, because of a quirk of how the implementation works, even if you can properly take a look at the height map in the woven pattern, when plugged into the bump node, it doesn't work right away. For some reason, it only works if you also input a mapping vector inside the vector input. In my case, I will just put my UV map. And now the bump node works properly. And this is mainly because this whole node is based on a script node, and because of the implementation of open shading language, you have to make sure that the UV map is plugged correctly for it to work with the bump node. And now to set the pattern, it's really easy. You can just toggle any crossing you want into this zone right here. To change the number of rows and columns of the pattern, we can simply edit the warp count and weft count, and here by default, even if the pattern is not square, everything will be stretched over a whole unit of UV space. But to change that, you can either change the ratio of the texture or enable the correct ratio to make sure that the texture will repeat to cover a whole square without stretching. And you can also change the scale to have a better look at the whole pattern. And now it is really easy to set any pattern we want. We can also invert the pattern if needed, or reset it to only weft over warps, and we can also flip the pattern vertically or horizontally. For technical reasons, we have to have limitation over the max number of warp weft count, so here basically the max number of warp is 64, because anything beyond that and we won't even be able to set the pattern, because this is the max width of the node. But generally speaking, you can put any value you want as warp and weft count, with the only limitation being that the maximum number of crossings is 256. So that means that the biggest square you can do is 16 by 16, but you could also make it half as wide and twice as tall, and it will also work just fine. I also implemented a preset library right inside the pattern to get you started more quickly. So you can set the pattern to a plane weave, a 2x2 basket grid, 3x3, 4x4, a satin twill pattern, a twill weave which alternates in an upward direction with 1 crossing over and 3 under. We also have the same for 2 over 2 under, 3 over 3 under, and a point twill which does a wavy pattern. Now for any of those patterns except the plane wave, you can either see in the description the base size of the pattern. So for example, here the pattern size of the 3x3 baskets grid is 6x6, but another way to set it to the minimum size of the pattern is just to set your pattern 2 times in a row, and it will always be set to the minimum size. Now alternatively, if the current grid is too small for the selected pattern, the tool will also automatically increase the size. So here, if I select the 8x8 grid of the basket 4x4, it will automatically increase its size. Next, we can also change the shape of the warp and weft. So here by default they are round, so the height in the height map is corresponding to a cylinder, but we can also set them independently to a flat ribbon, which may be useful to make carbon fiber, woven bamboo, and so on. So here we already went over the scale and ratio. Next, we also have a width setting for the warp and the weft, and this is just a relative value you can set between 0 and 1. Next, we also have the ambient occlusion, which we can better see in the height map. So by default it is set to 0.5, but you can make it stronger or disable it entirely. So if it is entirely disabled with warp and weft set to flat, we'll just have a plain white grid on the height map. And the final 3 settings are the warp color, weft color, and the background color. And now it's time to take a look at the outputs. As I showed earlier, we have a height and color map, but we also have an alpha mask, which we can use in a mix shader node to blend between our BSDF and a transparent shader to make the fabric see-through. And the final two outputs are the height of the backface and the color of the backface, and this is basically just the output colors and height for an inverted version of the pattern we selected. And to make use of this, we could use a geometry input node as well as a mix converter node set to color to mix using the backfacing field between our normal color and the color of the backface. We could also do the same for a float value to mix between the height of the backface and our original height. And now if I take a look at the underside, here where we have a red fiber over a blue one on the corner, we have the opposite on the underside. And on a more obvious pattern, if everything is blue over red, the underside will just be the opposite, which might be really handy. Now let's quickly set up everything to a more beautiful texture. So for example, if we want to make a denim texture, we can use the twill 1-3. So let's select it 2 times in a row, and let's put some input noise values for the warp and weft color. Here I will also use my UV map, but going through a mapping node to crunch the values around the x-axis. We can also Ctrl-Shift-D duplicate this a second time to do the same on the y-axis for the weft texture. So now we have a dense noise texture around the x-axis on one side and the same around the y-axis on the other side. Let's put them through color ramps to crunch a bit the values. And now we can use this as the factor of a mix node to mix between two different colors. So on one side I will have a light blue fabric color, and for the weft I do the same but with a darker color. And let's increase the scale quite a bit, make the value even more dense around the x and y axis. And now to bring even more detail, we could also use the output of the color map as another input for the bump node. With a slightly lower value, this will give us even more detail. And now if you change your mind, it can be really easy to change the pattern even after the fact. So those are the basic features of the woven pattern node included in my pattern master add-on. And finally, I will just talk about how it works under the hood if you are interested. So basically, this is just the equivalent of a node which has been also added, which is the woven pattern node tree, which is in the inside just a wrapper for a script node, as you can see. Here we have 2 script nodes, one for the pattern and one for the pattern of the backface, which are based on open-chaining language scripts. And here you might wonder how to convert this pattern into values that the scripts can understand. And in fact, it is really easy, and you will see how it is linked to the maximum values you can have for the pattern size. But basically, if you have a look at your node, on the sidebar, you will be able to see a panel named Do Not Edit. Under here, you can see 16 pattern values and a few other ones. And basically, the states of all those toggles is read inside the add-on as a string of 0s and 1, which are then packaged into a 32-bit integer value you can see here, and those values are then passed onto the open-chaining language script to be interpreted. So even though we can communicate a pattern map to the open-chaining language script by passing them with 32-bit pattern values, using 16 of them we can make all the patterns for the front side and the back face, up to 256 crossing of our pattern. And this add-on is available on Gumroad and BlenderMarket, or really soon Superhive. Right now all the links are in the description, and if it does well you can expect way more features in the future, and especially other kind of patterns such as knitting pattern, flooring patterns and much more. And here are other demos that are also supplied with the add-on. We have an example of a map which uses the height map as a displacement for a woven basket, for which you can of course really easily change the pattern. We also have a simple denim texture, a demo for carbon fiber using flat strips, and a kind of different fabric pattern. Also in the future I really want to add control right inside the node to make color variations on the threads, change their ply count, twisting values, and even ideally add some fuzz. So if you are interested, make sure to support this. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them below. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.